Yo. Welcome in, man. Today is October the 20th, and we have two divisions left to start the NBA, two divisions to preview to start the NBA season, man. Let's jump right into it for today. We'll go through the Northwest Division today, and then we'll save the what is that? The South North? No, South North. We'll save the Southwest for the last preview. So without further ado, let's jump into it, man. Hit the like button for me if you can as you join. We start always with Jackson. Jackson is giving out a couple plays that I actually like. If you guys like them, be sure to put them in before the season actually starts. And if you're interested in Jackson and if you like the analysis from Jackson, make sure you check out the promo code in the description below. So today's prompt is a very similar one from yesterday. We're talking about future bets since these are future preview shows. Ask Jackson, what is the single best NBA future what is the single best NBA future bet to make currently? So based on current markets, Jackson likes Miles McBride to win the Sixth Man of the Year award. I would not put a full unit on this, but it's plus 8,000. It says the Sixth Man of the Year award has undergone a significant evolution over the last few years. Is no longer simply the player who scores the most points off the bench. Recent winners include Peyton Pritchard of 2025, Nas Reed of 2024. Were not the top bench scorers, but were critical contributors to successful teams. Crucially, the last two winners were also relevant long shots. Entering the season with odds around 50-1. Miles McBride currently sits 80-1, plus 8,000. Fits this profile perfectly as a high value long shot. The New York Knicks are entering the season with lofty expectations in the Eastern Conference, and McBride is positioned to be the most reliable anchor for their second unit. I don't think none of us can disagree with that. I guess Jordan Clarkson is there too. Statistical and situational analysis. Miles McBride's value is amplified by the uncertainty surrounding his teammates who are currently favored ahead of him. So teammate issues. Two of McBride's Knicks teammates, Jordan Clarkson and Josh Hart, are higher on the odds board, but face significant hurdles. Clarkson's fit in the offense does not look seamless in the preseason. More importantly, Josh Hart is dealing with the lingering issue on his shooting hand and back spasms following a nasty fall in Abu Dhabi. So reliability and role, I'm not reading all that, but yeah, it's a lot of different points that that highlight Miles McBride to. I just put a little something on Miles McBride to win Sixth Man of the Year plus 8,000. I don't think it's a bad long shot at all, especially with the expectations that the Knicks have this season. Sounded really good to me. It was the first time I read it when I shared it with you guys. All right, let's jump into it for today. So first up, we start with the Denver Nuggets out west in this Northeast Division. The Denver Nuggets finished last season 50-32 straight up. You can see ATS-wise, they were a little underwhelming, 38-44. Finished fourth in the West, lost in the conference semifinals to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who eventually hoisted the championship. Because they were so underwhelming, they did end up firing Mike Malone, and then with just a couple games left, they ended up firing Calvin Booth as well, the former GM. David Alderman took over the reins, and he'll be the head coach this year as well. We look at some of the additions. They bring Bruce Brown back from their championship team a couple years ago. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes over. They got him for nearly nothing on a vet minimum in free agency as he departs from the Detroit Pistons. Cam Johnson comes over in the trade for Michael Porter Jr., of course. And then you get Valanciunas, which is big. Valanciunas come over in the trade with the Sacramento Kings. And that, I'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's a huge one. They lose Westbrook, which is completely fine. They lose Westbrook, who just signed with Sacramento. Sarge was traded to Sacramento in the trade for Valanciunas, and DeAndre Jordan, of course, is now gone because you don't need him when you got Valanciunas to be out there to back up Jokic. So off-season notes, the addition of the three-point shooters should help the offense out a lot. Was one of the big takeaways that I took from this. Cam Johnson is a 39% three-point shooter. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a 36% career three-point shooter, even though he shot the ball pretty terribly, it felt like to me in Detroit last season. And then I think you also, if you like Denver, you got to hope that the development of Christian Braun and Peyton Watson also, pays off and they continue to take steps in their development. Christian Braun was somebody who took a big leap last season, scoring in double figures, I think in like 70 of the 82 games. So that helped out a lot. And they're going to be relied on a lot. When I listened to the media day availability for the team. They talked about the addition of Jonas Valanciunas being a huge part for Denver. Since last season, Denver really didn't have anybody to produce in the front court when Jokic went to the bench. We always talk about those non-Jokic minutes, and I think having Valanciunas is going to be big for him this season. Valanciunas is still very serviceable big who can have a big impact and keep Jokic fresh. And when I think about keeping Jokic fresh, I don't even think about it from a daily perspective, like a nightly perspective. I'm thinking about it more so for the bigger moments of the season in the second half. To me, it felt like Denver kind of ran out of gas because remember them losing to OKC. They were coming off a grueling 7-game series in the first round where they beat the Clippers and had to give it everything they had in that series. So I do feel like, Denver pushed OKC. They probably gave them a little bit more run for their money than anybody else did outside of the Indiana Pacers, of course, in the NBA Finals. But Denver was really good last season. And then you look at them this season, they have just coming into it, they have the easiest strength of schedule. Although they only have 8 games with the rest advantage and 12 without it. Easiest, strength of schedule. We know that they always have a home court advantage playing in Mile High. The altitude always gets to other teams as well. And for whatever reason, Denver was really good on the second leg of back-to-backs last season. I forgot what that number was. Let me just look it up real quick. Denver, I felt like they were undefeated for a large part of the season last year when they were playing unrested. They went 12-4 straight up, 10-6 against the number last season. Won 75% of their games, covered 63% of their games, and won by 11 points on the second leg of a back-to-back. That's absolutely insane. And before the last 3 games, they were actually 12-1 straight up, and again 12-1 straight up, and 10-3 against the number. They lost their last 3 games back-to-backs to the Bulls, Wizards, and Spurs. Now that I look at it, but yeah, I think this is going to be a good season for Denver Nuggets, man. They're projected to have 53.5 wins on DraftKings right now, -120, plus 450 to win the division. Second shortest odds, of course, behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, the world champion Oklahoma City Thunder, and a plus 750 to win the championship, which is the second shortest odds behind, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder as well. So Denver is projected to be the second best team in the NBA. They're projected to be the second best team in the Western Conference. And because they're in the division with OKC, they're projected to be the second best team in the division as well, man. It's not an easy division playing against these young Thundercats out at OKC, man. But Denver, I think it will be really, really good this season. I think they'll be a little bit better defensively this season. We know Jokic is a walking triple-double. You still got Jamal Murray there. I love the addition of Cam Johnson as well. And I think Bowles is going to be huge for him. So that's my thoughts on Denver. I'm not betting anything preseason, but it wouldn't surprise me if they won 55 to 57 games this season. I think Denver can go up and over this 53.5, which is why it's juiced to -120 to the over on DraftKings. All right, let's keep moving. Try to be efficient with our time. Next up, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves went 49-33 last season. They finished 6th in the West. Lost in the conference finals again to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City was killing everybody last year, taking all the lunch money, especially from the Western Conference teams. We can see that they did struggle a little bit, 39-43 against the number. It took their offense a while to get clicking last season, but when it did, they finished strong, 17-4 in their last 21 games throughout the regular season last year. And they beat my Lakers in the first round, of course, before losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they got mollywopped by OKC as well. So they don't really do a lot in the offseason. They re-signed Bones Highland, which I don't think he's going to play a big role. Joe Ingles, which I think he's just going to be the vet on the team sitting on the bench. Joe Ingles doesn't do anything, in my opinion, at this age in his career. Julius Randle's still there. Naz Reid. Johnny Juzang, I think, is pretty big because he's a three-point shooter that's going to be able to help space the floor for them. You lose Nickeil Alexander-Walker because of the trade and sign. Luka Garza, of course, left in free agency as well. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, the team is going to remain the same. You're just without Nickeil Alexander-Walker was big, but I do like Rob Dillingham coming into his second year. He'll have another year, in Coach Chris Finch's system, the same way that Julius Randle will. Like this will be his second year there as well, which I think could pay odds for them. When I was listening to the media day, the team talked about a sense of like seriousness and maturation for their younger players, and not just being on the roster, but also having like to contribute like meaningfully in having certain responsibilities on the team. So those are the Rob Dillinghams of the world. And I think Minnesota will be good, man. I think that they'll be straight. The problem is, again, you're just in the division with OKC and Denver, and it's not the same in this division as it is in all the other divisions, man. Like they got their work cut out. Strength of schedule wise, right in the middle at 15, pretty neutral. 10 games with the rest advantage, 12 games without the rest advantage this season. Projected win total sitting at 48.5. I don't know. I don't know about that. I know that Anthony Edwards going to give it everything that he got on every single night. He want to win MVP this season. Talked about in the offseason, kind of working on his post game, watching a lot of Jordan and Kobe highlights. We know he's an MVP type player. He wants to win the MVP this season, but Minnesota, they play around with their food too much for me to take the over 48.5. Like this is a team that not that they can't go out there and win a bunch of games, but they let their foot up off the gas a little bit too much for me. A little too inconsistent. We'll see what they do as far as turnovers. Defensively, I'm expecting them to be good. Offensively, I'm expecting them to be good. We'll see what the three-point shooting does because last year they were either really, really hot, it felt like, or really, really cold. You can get them plus 1,600 to win the division. I don't think that's going to happen. They have the third shortest odds behind Denver and OKC, of course. Nas Reed has the second shortest odds for Sixth Man of the Year. They're plus 1,800 to win the championship, which is the sixth shortest odds as well. Like I said, problem is that, two of the other three are actually in the same division with them. So no best for me on OKC, just giving you guys the update. Now we move on to the cream of the crop. The Oklahoma City Thunder finished 68-14 last season. Like, this is the team that I kind of like I'm not going to do it on this show, but like you could like stop and just reflect on how good the Thunder were when you look into some of these numbers, man. It's crazy. 68-14 last season. They not even just that. It's like 68-14 is crazy, but 55-25-3. Not only did the team win the most games, but they covered the most spreads as well. And I don't even know if we've ever seen that before. It was crazy. You see the proof is in the pudding. Look at the numbers: third in offensive rating, first in defense, first in net rating, fifth in pace. I think they forced the most turnovers. Like, this is crazy. They won the West, the championship, first in franchise history. SGA won MVP, Finals MVP. Now they're looking to become the first team to repeat since the 17-18 Golden State Warriors. And they don't lose anybody either. They re-signed SGA, re-signed Chet, AJ Mitchell's still there, re-signed Jalen Williams, both Jalen Williams, big Jalen Williams, and J-Dub and other Jalen Williams. So both of them are still there as well. Didn't really lose anyone outside of Dylan Jones, who was traded. Like, OKC is going to be crazy, man. They returned 95% of their minutes that was played last season. Nikola Topic was hurt all last season with the ACL injury. He should crack the rotation after missing pretty much all of the season last season. Last season, they managed the highest point differential in NBA history, and they won the most games in NBA history by double digits. And the craziest thing about OKC is they have only two players that's over 27 years old. It's absolutely insane, man. They strength of schedule wise this season, 9th easiest. 10 games with the rest advantage, 10 games without. Projected win total sitting at 62.5, which is literally what they did last year, plus one game. They're minus 300 to win the division, so no real, meat left on the bone as far as those odds go. I'm not betting the minus 300 for the full season. Plus 245 to win the championship, which is, of course, the shortest odds, which are available on DraftKings right now. I think OKC can run it back. If you think that OKC is going to be able to defensively play really, really well, like they did last year, then, they'll turn teams over. They'll get out. They'll run in transition. Other teams will be playing from behind. SGA is still, I guess, kind of like entering his prime. He averages, 33, 34 points per game. Jalen Williams, the guard Jalen Williams, is or the forward Jalen Williams, not the center, is going to miss the beginning of the season with the hand injury, I'm pretty sure, or whatever injury he was dealing with. But, I mean, OKC is so deep. And you still got Isaiah Hardenstein. Like, they're going to be good for a couple more years because none of those contracts even end anytime soon. So the team that they have intact that won last year is going to be together for at least the next couple years in a row. OKC, I'm not going to take them to win 62.5 because it could be a little bit of a letdown, but I can't see them really losing too many games if they come in with the same energy and effort that they did last season. Lou Dort's still there. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Isaiah Joe's still there. Like, it's kind of crazy, man. Yeah, I'm not betting on OKC to do anything. as far as losing wise go. But and plus 245 for them to win a championship, I do think it's worth a sprinkle to start the season because I'm not sure how those odds will change. So that's my thought process, especially with the East being so easy as well. I think the East, whoever comes out the East, I don't think they'll stand a chance. Before injuries go into account and before the NBA trade deadline, but we'll see. All right, next up we got the Portland Trailblazers. 36-46 last season is what they finished at. They finished 12th in the West, missed the playoffs, came close to kind of making the play-in because they went 23-18 in the second half of the season. They missed the play-in tournament by just 3 games and ended up winning 15 more games than they did 2 years ago. So Portland was on the up and up last season. They did it with their defense, which was top 3 in the second half of the season. You can see here they were 15th defensively. Offensively, they kind of their offense was very inconsistent, I guess I should say. Denny Abdi was good. Klingon was good, which he'll still be there. But you can see that they ranked 23rd in offensive rating. And I kind of think that their offense is still going to suck a little bit this year as well. They do. Matisse Thybulle, I feel like I haven't seen him playing so long, but he's back. They added Drew Holiday, of course, in the trade for from Boston. Dame is back, but he won't play this season. Blake Wesley is there. They lose Aiden to the Lakers. Anthony Simons, of course, is in Boston. Jabari Walker left in free agency as well. When I think about Portland, it's kind of quick, man. I think about Portland. I think they're going to be above average defense when you got Drew out there, which I know Drew is a little older now, but Drew will be able to kind of teach the younger guys how to play defense. And I'm pretty sure Chauncey's going to love having Drew out there as well. Klingon, I think, especially without having Aiden, I think he could take a big step this year. Tamari Kamara just signed a contract yesterday. So they locked him up, 3-and-D type player. Very, very good defensively. Robert Williams, the third, if he can stay healthy, is still a pretty solid rim protector as well. But yeah, I think Klingon makes a big, big step. If not, Zhang Henson, I think they drafted him 16th at center. He could get some minutes as well and produce. I liked him from what I saw in the preseason. But Denny is the glue, in my opinion, that could be the X factor for the season. Last season, when he finally made it his way out of DC, posted career high in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and it's still just his 5th year. So I like Denny Abdi a lot on this team. Shaden Sharp and Scoot are the key players, of course, but they need to be a little bit more consistent rather than just here and there type of offensive productive players, in my opinion. Like I said, offensively, I think they'll still stink. I don't know if they'll have enough shooting, especially without Simons being there and, of course, being in Boston now. However, defensively, like I said, I think they'll still be good, especially as home dogs. I'll be looking to take opponent team total under, especially when Portland has like the rest disadvantage or anything like that. They're another team that plays really, really well with the rest disadvantage. Last season, that's home dogs with high totals. Their games finished about 66% to the under when I was going through and doing my research on Portland. Far as the schedule goes, second most difficult, 11 games with the rest advantage, 9 games without. Projected win total only sitting at 34.5. They're plus 3,000 to win, 30,000 to win the division. That's not going to happen. And big part of the reason for Portland why they won't take a big step is because they still got Jeremy Grant, who is one of the worst contracts in the NBA. And I think that hurts a lot. When they're able to move off Jeremy Grant, I think Portland will be a little bit more competitive, potentially even make the play-in tournament, but not this season. I think they still got a couple years to go. Vegas thinks that they may exceed expectations a little bit. They may have exceeded expectations a little bit and dropped their win total by 2 games this season. Like I said, they won 36 last season. And then their win total this season is 34.5. So about 1.5 games is what Vegas thinks that they won't be able to win this season. But we shall see. The West is stacked, man. I'm not betting anything on Portland. Last but not least, and I guess you could say last but least, yeah, because the Jazz stink, man. This team went 17-65 last season. They finished dead last in the West, missed the playoffs. Was even fine for trying to find ways to sit Lauri Markkanen when they should have been playing. Was rebuilding last season, probably going to do the same this season. They do, just because I do my due diligence on all teams, I will give you guys this scoop. They traded for Kyle Anderson. They got Kevin Love, got Gorgeous Niang as well, and Yusuf Nurkic. So they get this plethora of older players, veteran type players, but more importantly, Ace Bailey is there. He's looked really, really good in the preseason. They lose some vets as well. No Jordan Clarkson, of course, he's in New York. John Collins traded to the Clippers. Yu Zhang is now in Minnesota, and Colin Sexton, of course, was traded to Charlotte. I think trading the vets lets you know all you need to know about this team. I don't think like how much does Kevin Love have left in the tank? How much does Kyle Anderson have left in the tank? Gorgeous Niang, how much does he have left in the tank? Yusuf Nurkic, like I guess Nurkic is probably the best player out of all three of those, but like I'm not expecting a lot. Like none of those guys play defense. This is a super young team as well. They still got marketing. They still got Walker Kessler. Like Keontae George is still there. You got Sensabaugh and Cody Williams and Isaiah Collier and Filip Lukowski, who actually won the Summer League MVP. He hooped. I think he averaged like close to 30 in the Summer League. So they got some talent there. But this young talent, it's talent that's like you need more. You need those guys around. Those guys I just talked about, you need those guys around vets, like good vets that are also going to contribute. And the guys that I named that came over are not going to contribute at all. So if the ship, if they end up shipping Lauri Markkanen, this team could win 15 games or less and look like the Wizards from last season, in my opinion. 9 out of Utah's top 13 players were in the draft in the last 4 years. So that tells you a lot that you need to know about the Jazz as well. 11th most easiest strength of schedule, 14 games with the rest advantage, 11 without. Projected win total sitting at 18.5, lowest win total since 2014, 2015, 2015 Philadelphia 76ers. This was the trust the process Sixers. Only 9 teams over the last decade have fewer than 18 wins. So it's extremely hard to take this team, win total under. The books are kind of daring you to do it, and that's why I'm not going to do it. But I just still think they're going to suck, though. I think the Jazz will. Last year, they lost their average game by 11 points last season, and they were getting, what did I look at? 8.5, 8.62 points is what they were typically getting last season. I mean, this team was bad, man. They'll play okay in Utah on some nights, but on the road they lost by average of 10 points. All the games went over. They gave up an average of 122 points per game. Like the Jazz were just bad, man. I'm not betting on the Jazz this season, man. And that's it. This division is done. Resources, as always, are here. Check them out. Jackson, Outlier, Moneyballer, Eyes Jam. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Let me know if you guys are taking bets in this division. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. Turn the notification bell on, all that good stuff. We got one division left, and then the NBA playoffs. The NBA regular season starts on Tuesday, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one.